I mean, overall, this is obviously a difficult time for you, but you've got to obviously look on the positive side. And do you see it as, you know, a change and a new start and bringing fresh blood into the band and that kind of thing? I mean, you've had lineup changes before, haven't you? And you've weathered them.
Yeah, we've had a few changes over the years, that's for sure.
I mean, how
obviously
personally,
this is a big challenge because when you change your front man, it's a quite big thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we changed from Paul to Bruce, it was a big thing as well. So yeah, it's a challenge, but yeah, we're really positive. In fact, we're really excited about it, and we've got plenty of time because it's all out in the open.
Yeah.
You know, we've got plenty of time to just, you know, look. You know, we might even drag someone up with it.
Yeah,
out in the gig and give them an audition.
That's right, yeah.
You never know.
But really, I think it's so many things. The four of us really want to. You know, we feel so strongly about that. Maiden has got, you know, still got a ways to go yet, musically and in every way from touring. So the four of us actually, you know, probably make us stronger.
The feeling's been great. You know, the four of us rehearsing together, and you know, it's been really positive. You know, we're not thinking negatively at all. I mean, obviously when we first found out that, you know, he was going to go, then obviously it was a downer. There's no two ways about it. I mean, he's been in the band a long time, and you know, it's just you know, not good news obviously to start with, but you know, you think positively, and I think all round, you know, for him and for us, you know, it can be a real good thing. You know, I mean, he's going to go off and do what he's doing, and he's obviously into that.
Good.
And we're very positive. You know.
Good. All right. Well, we'll talk some more in a little while, but we've got a real live one. Why did you feel that the time was right for Maiden to release another live record?
Well, it's been quite a long while since the last one. I think the last one was out in '85 or something like that. So it's been a fair few years. And we just felt it was a good time to bring one out. I mean, we did record some stuff from Wembley on the No Prayer tour, but we just used some stuff on B-sides and all that, and we felt that, you know, it was good to approach it like the way we have done this time round, and just record like, I don't know, 10 or 11 gigs or whatever it was throughout Europe and choose the best ones. And because that way, you know, like, you don't get the pressure, you know, you just go out there and play to the audience for the night. You're not worried about, you know, watching technically what you're doing. Whereas if you've got to get it down in 1 or 2 nights,
that's true, yeah.
You know, you do it and you know, play, you know, very carefully and everything else, but then you're not concentrating so much on the actual gig itself. So to be able to go out there and not worry about it, and you've got 10 or 11 shots at it, you know, and if we can't get one good one out of 10 or 11, then there's something wrong. So
I'm sure they were all brilliant.
Well, I don't know about that, but no, most of them were you know, in the ballpark for being used. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to get as much audience on there as possible. So that sort of played quite a big factor in it as well.
I think you definitely achieved that because it really captures the atmosphere. The audience is really high up in the mix, and it really feels like you're actually there. So that's very good producing. Steve producing the album for the first time. So we'll actually talk a little bit about that a bit more later on. Now, we only found out recently that Bruce was leaving the band. In view of that, do you see this album as kind of closing a chapter on Iron Maiden, and then you're ready to sort of start a new one? Do you see it like that
Yeah,
at all?
I suppose it does end up being like that because you know, it obviously wasn't intended as that because we didn't know who was going or anything.
No.
And as I said before about the albums being before, you know, and at the end of the tour, it's just kind of changed the game plan a bit. But yeah, I suppose it's end of an era in a way with him going, but you know, closes that chapter and we start a new chapter and we get a new strong geezer in. And,
yeah, it's the end of the chapter, but not the end of the book.
No, of course. It's quite interesting that you decided to divide the 2 live albums, sort of pre and post 1986. Obviously, the Real Dead one's coming out later on, as Steve said earlier. Why did you decide to work it like that? Was it just a good way of? Yeah,
well, originally, as I said before about splitting the 2 albums before and after the tour. We thought that, you know, there'd be a lot of fans that would already have material on the second one because they'd have Live After Death. They're also the same materials on Maiden England video.
Right.
So we just felt that it was good to give people the option to either, you know, buy the stuff which is like, you know, after '85, or get the stuff, you know, as well with '85 if they want it. But if they don't want it, then they've got the option. Whereas if we've been stuck on a double album, they've got it all there, and then obviously there's probably complaints that. You know, it's just old stuff we've already got, blah blah blah.
Right,
but of course you can't please everybody, you know. But that's the way we felt the best way to do it. But since Bruce has decided to go, yeah, it's changed the game plan. So we are going to do some stuff on this part of the tour, some other stuff that we've, you know, to add to those songs.
So really, just to put the albums together, you literally just had to wade through all the material from the shows and decide which was best. And then you actually produced it as well, didn't you, Steve? So no Martin Birch this time.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah, I had to go through and choose all the versions and everything, and I mean, there's not a great deal of production really for a live album, in the sense that, you know, it's a question of going through, picking out, you know, the best versions, making notes and stuff like that. It's more down to just the mixing thing. But it's not easy to mix, really, when you... It's much easier to mix, put it this way. If you record 1 or 2 gigs and you use all that same night, then once you've got it set up, it's not going to change too much.
Yeah,
the settings. But when you're using stuff from, you know, different nights, and every time you do a mix of that and a song from a different night, you've got to completely strip the ball down and start again. So it did make it a lot more time consuming in that way. But,
were the other band members involved in helping you get through the material?
No, they don't tend to studio stuff. I mean, you know, even in like studio albums, they come in and they do their bit and then go off on holiday or something.
Yeah, I think we tend to. That's what we'll do. We go in, do our bits, and then and go. I mean, I think if everyone was in the studio as well, it'd just be crazy. So we obviously trust Steve's judgment on
of course,
everything, and then with Martin as well before. So it's all good. I think from the live stuff, so you could have like probably 10 versions of the same song. And they all sound good, but it's just, I guess, capturing the one that's got that bit of magic, extra there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, the choice was between, you know, a couple of really blistering tracks that played well and all that, but, you know, I would tend to go for the one that's got the fire in it rather than the one that's technically played better, you know, if that was the choice between the two.
All right, well, we've got loads more to talk to Iron Maiden, but we've got to take our first short break right now, and then after that I'll be back to talk a little bit more to Steve and Dave, and we're also going to be meeting up with Bruce and Yannick, so do stay tuned. More Iron Maiden to come. Iron Maiden are rehearsing for the upcoming European tour. We'll have a full tour dates listing at the end of the show. But Steve and Dave are still with me, and we're going to talk a little bit more about A Real Live One, the new live album. And it's interesting actually, you guys, because originally I believe the albums were only going to be released on CD and cassette. So I was wondering, why did you decide to bring out the album on vinyl? I think it's in like a gatefold sleeve.
Well, there are still some countries that still use vinyl, places like Greece, places like that, so, you know, we had to bring it out on vinyl for some countries anyway, and we thought that we'd maybe bring out sort of a special edition of like a thing like similar to what Yes did, you know, with like a big package, like open out for like as if it was like 3 albums or something. I think that's the general idea. It'll just be a limited edition purely for collectors, really.
Do you yourselves like listening to stuff on vinyl?
It's not so much listening to it, it's just that I really miss when you get the album and you got the album, you read all the lyrics and you got all the, you know, the booklet and everything else, and we was able to do that with Live After Death, and I don't know, this time around it's just, when you get the CD, it's great sound, but I don't know, it's just not the same as getting an album where it's, you know,
the whole bit,
you know, a pair of glasses to read the lyrics.
Because I was also wondering, is it intended for the 2 live albums to have like a separate identity and character to each other, or are they going to be sort of a pair?
Well, I suppose they will be separate in the sense that we are going to record some more shows now. But yeah, I suppose they will tie in some way. The artwork, I mean, we did have one with a lot of artwork done already. Whether we're going to use that now or not, I don't know. Because see, originally it was going to be called A Real Live One and A Real Dead One. Now Bruce is leaving, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. So, you know, I don't know, we'll see. You know, we are probably going to get some more artwork done. There's more time now, because we've still got to mix the stuff as well after the tour, and it's not going to be coming out until sort of September time, so we've got a bit more time to play with it.
Also, a lot of viewers wrote in to ask if you ever intend to release the entire Donington 92 live performance as like a live performance, and also with, I believe you've got an accompanying film to that as well. What's happening with that?
Yeah, we'll have to mix the sound for that in July, August as well, and that'll be released as a full video around about the same time in September, I should think. And really, we've got to sort of check through, because we haven't really had time to check through all the, you know, the video as well, and check that we're happy with it, you know. So there'll probably be some frame changes there and all that. So yeah, you know, I mean, there's quite a lot of stuff